Sacramento Bee. He joins us each and every Thursday at 8. Sam Amick. Good morning, Sam.
Good morning, Dave. How are you, my friend?
What'd I forget? SI, AOL Fan House, the Bee. There's like one I know in there I'm forgetting.
Well, the one you're forgetting is actually perfect because
Yahoo.
it's USA. It's USA Today.
That's right.
But it's perfect because I have you on speakerphone in my car as I'm sitting next to my former USA Today colleague, Nick Singer of the Denver Post. So it's perfect time. Way to throw shade at USA Today and offend both of them.
You're riding in a car doing a live radio hit and morning drive on the number 12 highest rated morning show for sports in the mid-markets in all of the United States, and you're in a car with people on speaker?
What's wrong with that, man?
Nothing. Consummate professional Sam Amick. Where are you coming from or going to, by the way? Were you at the game last night? Kings game?
I was. I wasn't hugging DeMarcus Cousins like you were, but I was. I was at the game, so I'm currently driving. Mike covers the Denver Nuggets for the Denver Post, and I'm driving him to the airport.
Okay. Sam, if the season, this is a great question to ask. In fact, you can all participate. Can you make for me, and not because I'm asking you to, but I'm saying logically in your head, can you make a cogent argument that Nikola Jokic isn't the MVP? Apologies to Giannis, apologies especially to Joel Embiid, but I'm having a really difficult time finding ways that Jokic is not the MVP.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think Mike agrees with you. Giannis you got to look at Giannis, and you got to obviously look at Embiid. I've had Jokic over Embiid for quite some time. And Giannis's numbers, I'm a sucker for making sure, we study the historical context and things of that nature. Now, Giannis and Jokic both are checking that box in a pretty incredible way. But you talk about this Nuggets team winning at the level they're winning at now, and obviously the whole backstory of all the guys they're missing.
Yeah.
I'm with you. He's making it tougher and tougher to not vote for him. And then, of course, the funniest part is that, he just continues to send off this vibe that he could care less if you vote for him.
Well, I'm glad you brought up the historical thing, because this is something before the game, as we were previewing it, we talked about yesterday. And after seeing him up close last night, I'm going to continue to talk about it, and I'm putting you on the spot. But here's my statement. You can factor in where he was picked in the draft, how good he is, how he looks, how he plays. Is Nikola Jokic the most non-comparable, unique player in NBA history? I know that's hyperbole, dude, but I can't find a comp for Jokic.
Magic Johnson comes to mind.
Okay. Maybe center, because, yeah, you're right. He comps, but he comps to players that are nowhere near what he's playing.
To literal magicians.
Right.
Yeah. Well, listen, your point is valid. I wasn't comparing Magic to Jokic.
Sure.
I'm saying guys that didn't have a comp. Magic with his size, running the floor. But, yeah, we haven't seen it because whenever you talk about, and this is perfect for your audience, it's like if you focus on his passing, it's like, oh, goodness, Vlade Divac, Arvydas Sabonis is like, okay, cool. Like, he's twice the passer that they were. Sabonis, I'm kind of disparaging his European career, but, like, he's doing it on a level from a production standpoint that those guys never touched. So, the comp kind of loses its luster. And, not only that, as you know, the whole discussion about Jokic is so interesting because he just continues to have to, the Nick Wrights of the world on Fox Sports are, constantly railing on why there's something wrong with Jokic. Yesterday he had said something about how he didn't trust him in the playoffs and he trusted Luka more.
Wow.
And another buddy of ours from Denver, Nick Carmichael of The Athletic, hit him up on Twitter and was like, Nick, Luka's never won in the first round and Jokic has never lost. What are we doing here? So, the optics and the PR around him continue to be very unique as well, just like his game.
Sam Amick from The Athletic joining us. Sam, Ben Simmons is going to be accompanying the Nets to Philadelphia and is going to sit on the bench when they play the Sixers. Why is Brooklyn doing this?
Why?
I don't know, but I was thinking about, like, calling up an old girlfriend and showing up on her doorstep and just, you know, like somebody who I was really mean to and just seeing how they react, you know. I think that's a good move. I don't know. It seems like, I'm not trying to be glib about, you know, I mean, I feel like I've always got to, you know, give the disclaimer that I've written about it, I've talked about it, the mental health stuff with him, only he knows, and I get it. What is annoying about this is that it does feel like this is a lawyer telling him that if you want to improve your case in arbitration to get as much of your money back as possible, then you need to portray the Philly fans as abusive, and the best way to do that is to come, you know, kind of pee on their lawn, so to speak. So it's a weird one for sure.
Okay, because that's an angle we talked about this at length yesterday, Sam, and couldn't wait to get you on, because we talked about this from the mental health angle, and again, I'm with you too. We'll never know, but let's default on the side of everything about the mental health is true. If you're Sean Marks, if you're Steve Nash, it's one thing if Ben Simmons is playing, but he can't even get on the floor. So you're taking him to Philly, where he's going to sit on the bench, and for 48 minutes plus warm-ups, going to get absolutely shellacked by these fans. And you're talking about a guy that missed games in part because the stated reason was mental health. I cannot possibly see any logic in Brooklyn saying, yeah, let's take him and have him on the bench in Philly. There's something Sam Hinkie about this whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why Sam Hinkie's catching strays.
I just said Hinkie. I always say Sam Hinkie, but yeah.
Okay. Last couple of days from that part of the country, you know, you kind of have me wanting to call our Nets beat writer after this phone call to get those answers. I don't know if the Nets have been pushed on the question of why and what their answer is. Not that it matters all that much. They've been talking out both sides of their mouths all year long. But, you know, I think the scrutiny and the skepticism are warranted for sure.
Can you please do that? I mean, I'm asking you as a favor because I don't have that kind of access. It's killing me. It's been killing us all week. If you do, would you please tweet it or text it or something? Because I really do. It really is bothering me because this makes no sense.
No, I'm not going to tweet it, Dave, because that would be free. And I know you're a big subscriber of The Athletic, so
twice.
I will. Twice,
yeah.
I should tell Mike here. Dave's very bitter that he has 2 subscriptions.
At $11.99 while they advertise, you can get it for like 4 cents a month right now, but that's a different topic. Jay, go ahead.
Sam, just if you can, explain the Lakers to us, because my Lord, is this team the most I mean, even with Anthony Davis hurt.
Ask him what you asked me earlier. Are they the most disappointing team of all time?
Factoring everything in from preseason expectations.
Of all time?
Of
all time.
Give us a more disappointing team that wasn't injuries or something, you know, whatever. Not that AD is not an injury, but the whole kit and caboodle, my man.
What about the 2012 Lakers with Steve Nash and Dwight Howard and Kobe and Powell?
We talked about it. Maybe this is a Dwight Howard thing.
But we all kind of knew Nash was a little, like, banged up and there was injury issues.
I mean, this one's probably worse, but we didn't, you know, they didn't put them on the cover of SI for nothing.
Yeah.
They were supposed to be good. Yes, there were injuries. I mean, give the Lakers, you can't take the injury thing away from them. Anthony Davis has missed a ton of games. LeBron's missed some time. Russ has been healthy and obviously mostly a train wreck. They, Mike kind of laughed and said, how much time do you have to answer this Lakers question? And I don't know how to explain them. If Lakers fans are not enjoying it, they should just tune into the HBO show and enjoy the old days with the winning time.
Really good
program. Well, it's good, but it's also, it's just the timing of it is funny because the combination of past and present all happening at once is a lot. So they're a mess. I don't know where it's all going. I obviously wrote earlier this week about how, LeBron has walked back a lot of his kind of passive-aggressive stuff that, had people wondering if he was going to be heading out of town. So it's a lost season. They'll jump into the play-in if they don't fall out and see what they can do. But, I don't think that Frank Vogel's going to be back. I don't know what they're going to do with the roster. They're obviously going to try to move Westbrook, but it's just not as easy as you might think. So do they end up stretching him and waiving him? Do they end up trying to salvage him with a different coach? I wrote about how Phil Jackson is somewhat back in the picture. He's been talking to Jeannie Buss all year long about the team because their relationship's, in a professional good place again. So there's a lot going on, but, not a lot of wins.
You can read Sam Amick at The Athletic. Go to theathletic.com. Grab yourself a subscription or 3 or whatever. Also, Sam, while we're at it, as we go, where can we read your buddy? Let's plug his place, too. He was very good during this interview, didn't talk, was very polite and nice. So let's give him a plug.
I'm going to throw him out here. You can speak for yourself.
I debated jumping in on the Joker talk. The only thing I wanted to remind your listeners of is that amid Joker's run right now, this is 4 games in 5 nights, and he's putting this stuff up. So everyone cracks on his conditioning.
Yeah.
Dude is getting after it, when the schedule is uncompromising. So my name is Mike Singer, work for the Denver Post. Feel free to subscribe, Sacramento.
Very good. Perfect. See, new friends made. That's a 2-for-1. We got value for once out of this interview. Also go to The Athletic for whatever Sam does. Appreciate you, and we'll talk to you in a week, buddy.
You guys, be good.
See you. Take care. Sam.